Raising a red-tailed hawk hatchling is a serious responsibility that requires knowledge, patience, and legal clearance. In many countries, it is illegal to possess or care for a wild hawk without a permit, so always consult with wildlife authorities or a licensed rehabilitator first. If you're authorized or working with a rescue center, here are essential tips on feeding, housing, and caring for a red-tailed hawk hatchling. Appearance and early life. A newly hatched red-tailed hawk Buteo jamaiensis is a small, fluffy, white ball of down with closed eyes and weak movements. They are extremely vulnerable at this stage, relying completely on caregivers for warmth, food, and safety. As they grow, their eyes open, and their feathers start developing rapidly. Diet and feeding. Red-tailed hawk hatchlings are carnivorous and require a high-protein diet for proper growth. In the wild, parents feed them small mammals, birds, and reptiles. For rescued or captive hatchlings, the ideal diet includes chopped mice or small rats, fur on, once they can digest it. Chopped quail or chicks. Supplements like calcium and vitamins to support bone and feather development. Feeding should occur every 2 to 4 hours during daylight in the early weeks. Always use forceps or feeding tools to avoid imprinting on humans, which can harm their survival instincts later. Living environment. The hatchling must be kept warm, especially in the first few weeks. A brooder box with a controlled temperature of 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 35 degrees Celsius for the first week, then gradually lowered each week by 5 degrees Fahrenheit, works well. Use soft towels or natural materials, no slippery surfaces, to avoid leg deformities like splay leg. As they grow, transition them to larger enclosures with natural perches, branches, and visual barriers to simulate their wild habitat. Clean the enclosure daily to prevent infections. Handling and human interaction. Minimal handling is crucial. Excessive contact with humans can lead to imprinting, where the hawk begins to identify humans as its own species. This severely impacts their ability to survive in the wild and should be avoided. Wear gloves and use indirect feeding methods whenever possible. Health and hygiene. Watch for signs of illness such as lethargy, diarrhea, poor feather development, labored breathing. A wildlife vet should assess any unusual behavior immediately. Regular weighing helps track healthy growth. Preparing for release. If the goal is to return the bird to the wild, training in a flight cage and live prey hunting must be introduced gradually. This process, called hacking, helps the young hawk learn survival skills in a controlled environment. Final thoughts. Caring for a red-tailed hawk hatchling is not just about feeding and sheltering, it's about preparing the bird for life in the wild. The goal is always rehabilitation and release, not keeping it as a pet. With proper care, minimal human imprinting, and professional guidance, hatchlings can grow into strong, independent raptors ready to soar.